Big Brother's a bit on the side. It's so nice to be back! Yes, it is! This is the programme that motorboats the main show in the hope that we'll still be around for the final. So, earlier, that was my impression of a horse. So earlier, the butthole twist was announced. Who'd have thought it? We're going to be chatting more about that a little bit later on. There's so much to talk about that we need to get on with meeting our panel. So first up is a man who has the lady moves of Dappy, the charisma of Lionel, and he's ready to pack a punch like a Vanda. It's Matt Johnson!
Hello gang! Happy New Year!
That was a good intro, right?
That was good.
Did you like it?
Don't ever put me and Dappy in the same sentence ever again. Boing.
Let's not talk about that. When will people stop flooding my timeline on Twitter with pictures of it? I've seen it once. I don't need to see it 100 times. Okay, our second panellist is somebody who's at the door by the sounds of it. Let's go and shall we go and have a look? Oh, it's
I'm well.
Yeah! Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You okay?
Yeah, really
Good.
good.
So much to talk about.
Yeah.
It's a doorbell again. Who could it be? Did somebody call for a doctor? How are you?
I'm great, lovely to see you.
It's only Dr. Paul Kennedy.
Hello, everyone.
Alan Fletcher, in other words. Let's go over. I'm quite excited. I have never met Carl Kennedy before. Although, one of my best friends' real name is Carl Kennedy. And he's a DJ, like you are.
He's a DJ actually in Manchester, and he and I talk all the time, and he actually booked my band for a gig in Manchester.
No, he's not. He lives in America. There's another one.
There's another one there?
Yes.
How many Carl Kennedys are there in the world?
We've got to get our acquaintances out of the way, but should we talk about Big Brother instead? Because there is a lot to talk about. So, Matt, Lee said that penguins mate for life.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Is Casey his lifelong penguin?
I don't know, she's a nice girl, he's a nice boy, and I think they could get together. Hopefully they do. Hopefully she's not in it for the wrong reasons, because there's a possibility that she could live off Lee from Blue, and I wouldn't want that to happen because he's a nice chap.
Do you think he seems to like? But it comes across to me as like he's the kind of person who likes being in love. Like I can imagine he falls in love really easily.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He very much wears his heart on his sleeve. I know him relatively well, and he's a very nice guy. So hopefully he's not too open for somebody that's going to break his heart. That would be nasty.
Okay. Oh. Ryan, what do you think? Do you think they like each other? Some people are saying showman.
Look,
Is it just early days having fun, or
it looks like he likes
cynical?
her, and hopefully she likes him the same way. I don't know. He just loves cuddles, though, doesn't he? Cuddles.
He likes couple cuddles, doesn't he?
Cuddles.
What do you guys think? Oh, look, first time this series. Are they for real? Is it just a few days in? They're having a bit of fun. What, you piped up first.
They love cuddles with no knickers on, as you've noticed. But no, I think it's all for the cameras because they want to win.
So you think it's just for the cameras?
Yes, I think it's just for the cameras because I don't think it's for real. Because come on, you know the game very well. So if you want the camera shot, you're going to go for someone and be in the paper. Yes.
She was in the diary room saying that she missed him. I think Louisa is up to the cameras. No, they're not. I think they really do like each other. I'd like to think that anyway.
What do you think?
Oh, look, Lee from Blue's causing a ruckus in the audience already. Shall we have a look at what things were like with him this morning? Yeah. Here you go.
Can I ask you a question, Big Brother? Can you hear everything?
Big Brother hears and sees everything, Casey.
Okay.
Is there anything in particular that you're worried about Big Brother seeing or hearing?
No, not really.
Big Brother doesn't believe you.
No, not really. We play the quilt game under the quilts. Have you heard about this game?
Tell Big Brother about the quilt game.
We put the quilt over our heads and we draw out words. So you don't know what we're saying then, do you?
Casey, housemates are reminded that it is forbidden to talk in code whilst in the Big Brother house.
Oh no, I just got myself in trouble.
What is it that you wanted to say to Lee that you did not want Big Brother to hear?
Just talking, really. It's just nice sometimes to talk in private. But we just mess around. We're like a couple of kids, that's all.
Well, if you want to talk in private, why go on Big Brother, where it's really not private? Now, Lee said before he went into the house, believe it or not, that he wouldn't kiss on camera. Alan, do you think he's forgotten where he is?
Something tells me Lee's very aware of what the camera's doing and where it is and what they can see and so forth. But I think he obviously is a bit of a big kid, though, isn't he?
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. He's a
He
big
does
kid.
seem like a softie,
Yeah.
to be honest. But is
naive.
this part of his plan to kind of get people on side?
You know, he's a ladies' man and he's a nice guy and he actually likes Jasmine, but because obviously she didn't give him interest.
He fancies Jasmine.
Yeah, and then they're obviously handcuffed together at the beginning, so it was meant to be, but...
So he's not fussy,
He doesn't mean bad, but he's... no, he is not playing a game. You can tell he's not playing a game. I can see.
As long as they've got a pair of boobs. Now, someone else who Louisa thinks is playing up to the cameras is Dappy. Matt, what did you think to the whole bathroom thing this evening?
Oh, that was
he
disgusting.
very much, he talks to the cameras a lot, doesn't he?
He does. I think he's playing up to the cameras a lot. I really wanted to like him at the start of this series, but I'm sorry, I can't watch him anymore. It's just, it goes through me. Him in the bathtub snogging that duck was probably the worst. I can't unsee that shit. It was awful. It was
Emotional
disgusting.
scarring.
Yeah, I'm scarred for life. It was terrible.
Louisa, another thing Louisa said to Jasmine was that a lesbian relationship would see them win. Alan, was the whole thing that happened in the bathtub with the kissing, now was that a coincidence? Or was this very good game playing?
I don't know what it was. It was just yuck. I couldn't bear it. I've got an 18-year-old daughter. I wanted to go back and see what Jim and everybody was up to. It just didn't do it for me. I don't know what anyone was doing. And I can't analyse these things. All I know is it wasn't.
Wasn't your cup of tea?
Wasn't my cup of tea.
Was it your cup of tea?
Yeah, it was.
It makes
Two girls snogging, was that your cup of tea? Yeah!
At the end of the day, I think it's entertainment. I don't think anyone's going to complain about it. I think, you're going to look at it and everyone's getting hyped up about it. So it's entertainment at the end of the day.
Is anybody bothered by it?
No.
Not a fan.
I think that is... They're just...
I love it when you come on.
They're playing to the camera.
Yeah.
And so, because
And
they're playing to the...
paper. She wants to be in the paper
Yes,
more.
yeah,
So when you want to be in the
because
paper more, you do
they
things.
feel that if they get more camera time,
Yes.
they'll stay in.
Yes.
So you feel they're upping their profile?
Yeah, of course I would.
Okay, coming up, we've got behaviour expert Dr. Pam Spur. She's going to be here giving us an insight into all the latest goings on. Plus, we're going to be joined by Casey and Louisa's friends. And, hold your breath, Anthony Costa from Blue is going to be here discussing all of tonight's action. But before all of that, as we mentioned earlier, one couple will be spending time in Big Brother's bolt hole on Wednesday night. Here are those all-important numbers. This week, Casey and Lee, Dappy and Liz, and Evander and Louisa all face eviction live on Wednesday night. However, no one will be evicted. Instead, one couple will leave in a fake eviction and secretly live in Big Brother's bolt hole. They will re-enter the main house live on Friday to drop a bombshell. For Casey and Lee to enter the bolt hole from a landline, call 090 20 44 24 13 or from a mobile 6 44 24 13. For Dappy and Liz, from a landline, call 090 20 44 24 14 or from a mobile 6 44 24 14. Or for Evander and Louisa, from a landline, call 090 20 44 24 15 or from a mobile 6 44 24 15. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 50p. Other landlines may vary. Voting closes in Wednesday's show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. For full terms, go to channel5.com/BBVote. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's Bet on the Side. We're a little bit like Liz Jones. We really haven't got a clue what's going on at all. But somebody who might is Dr. Pam Spur. So Pam, fresh bunch of housemates, few days in. Who is catching your eye?
Well, it is a sizzling 5-star series because of all the frisky and flirty housemates. Casey, Jasmine, Louisa, Dappy, Lee. I mean, they've taken all the attention, really. And we're seeing 3 different flirt profiles just from the girls. Louisa is a classic sort of sensual flirt. She uses like the right words, very sensual words when she's flirting. We have Casey, who's the classic girly flirt. She does all the big hair stuff, always flicking her hair. And then, of course, we have Jasmine, who's the overt sexual flirt, where this kind of behavior just pours out of her. It's just right in your face sort of sexy stuff.
So it's the young, rampant ones that are catching your eye?
Yes. And everyone else is not just mine.
The housemates are saying that they are united. Is that what you're seeing from their body language?
Certainly up until now, they've been very harmonious. We've seen very positive, open body language, like when, say, Jim and Linda and Liz are hanging around together. They're all relaxed, they're mirroring each other, and we see that with the young, flirty ones too. But now that they're uncuffed, I expect to see more conflict.
One thing that has been spoken about quite a bit is camera awareness. Let's take a look.
I think Dappy's a bit cringe sometimes. Like, he really plays up to the cameras. I think he's really aware. I think he's probably the most aware out of all of us that the cameras are there, and he's really trying.
Bye, big brother. I'm going. You know what I mean, innit? I know you know what I mean. You know I could be going home on Monday. It's cool, boy. Quickly get my license, get my Lambo out. I'll be zinging. But the whole point was I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay and entertain you mofos. Oh.
So there's no denying that he does love having a chat to the camera.
Absolutely.
But what are you reading from him?
Oh, he's absolutely working the camera. And what he did right from Friday night when he went in the diary room and he revealed to everybody that he fancied Jasmine, he's like enlisting the viewers to be on his side. And when he talks to camera and he gives those looks and says these promises that he's going to give us a lot, then he hopes he'll stay in. What's amazing, though, Emma, is the fact that he's been watching a lot of it. So you also see some paranoia in his behavior, like when Liz said to him, oh, don't worry, you won't be evicted after they were, put up for eviction. Yeah. And immediately the curse of eviction predictions, he said, don't tell me that, And it's because he knows that whenever someone says to other housemates, oh, don't worry, you won't go, they're the ones who go. And so he's been watching. He knows what's going on.
So he seems quite aware. Who isn't as aware, do you think? Whose body language is saying that they haven't let their guard down?
Oh, definitely Evander. I mean, when you think about his training as a professional boxer, it is all about never showing weakness, always portraying strength. And so that becomes a habit for life and a way of just relating to the world. Maybe if he stays in, we'll see more, but really that's just him as he is.
That's the way he's always been. Well, there's one couple who seem to be slowly forgetting that the cameras are there, and that's Lee and Casey. Let's take a look.
Hello.
Did it just me?
As soon as it went tits, it went...
And Lee likes tits.
Love tits. Love a big pair of tits.
Oh, shit.
That thing was... Oh, that shit.
I'll get you to the toilet now. Because... Yes. 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 You all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
So, apart from the obvious of what we're actually verbally being told Lee has just done, do they genuinely like each other, in your expert opinion? We've obviously heard the panel and the audience.
Genuinely, they like each other. There's a real affection there. The pillow fighting kind of flirtatiousness. It's very physical. It's kind of like school ground, playground type stuff.
Yeah.
But it shows that they are interested in it. But what we're really seeing with Lee is the chocolate box effect. This is when a young, virile man enters a place where there's a lot of different women available. He had his favorite chocolate, that was Jasmine, didn't get the vibe back from her, and he's of course been cuffed to Casey, so he goes for his second favorite chocolate. So you just watch this unfold, and it's about transference of sort of lustful feelings, and this happens a lot with young virile people, where if one person doesn't respond and they haven't invested a lot emotionally in that person, because of course he hasn't invested a lot of time with Jasmine, they've only been there a couple of days, well then that feeling of lust is easily transferred to another attractive person.
Has this happened a bit too quickly, though? Are they going to segregate themselves from everybody else because they spend so much time together?
I don't think they will, because I think they're both outgoing and they both have a laugh, especially with the other young, frisky people in there. So they all sit around out in the smokers area. In the morning, they have a laugh with everybody. So I don't think they're at risk of isolating themselves, but they are at risk of being accused of having a showmance.
Okay, let's talk about roles and the roles that people are taking in the house. Some already seem to be grabbing their role. Let's take a look.
I have a brilliant businesses, a brilliant career, a lovely house I live in, and they're the things that matter to me. I couldn't give a shit if you don't like me. What are you going to add to my life? Fuck all.
It's just very hard.
So fuck off. Yeah.
Me?
No, not you.
Good Lord, I was going to give you. Don't forget I'm your mother in here. Don't touch me like that.
People can't face the truth. And I say what I see.
So we saw her there call herself the mother in the house. Will the rest of the house get on board with her being the mother figure?
Well, the thing is, obviously, Louisa won't. Louisa is a unique, kind of very independent type of personality. And I don't think she'll take to anyone sort of being her mum in there. And the thing is, though, Linda's very savvy, and she's worked out with all these frisky young people around. She's got to carve out a role for herself. She can't just hang around with Jim and Liz and kind of have an easy life. She knows how Big Brother works. Colleen's been in it. Colleen did so well. And so she's very wise to try and carve out a role like that, and she's taken on board, I'm going to be house mum.
Is it okay to give yourself the role, or should you let the house give you the role?
It's always better to let the house give you that role, let it happen naturally, and that people turn to you like when they're upset or whatever. But for her to, I think, just shows how wise she is to have actually start to make that role herself.
Pam, thank you so much. Pam Spare, everybody. Still to come, I'm going to be talking to Casey's friend, Louisa's friend, and Lee's friend, and bandmate Anthony Costa from Blue to get the lowdown on the events of last night. But first, on Friday, 12 brand new and seemingly unconnected celebrities entered the Big Brother house. Products of a random casting process? Maybe not. Here's Laura Jackson to explain more.
12 new and seemingly unconnected celebrities have just entered the troubled world of Big Brother, and while at first glance they seem like relative strangers, no connection and no history, here on Bit of the Side we can demonstrate that they are actually only linked by an intricate web of 6 degrees of separation. Let's start with Sam Fairs. Sam went out with fellow castmate Joey Essex. Joey Essex was in the jungle with Peter Andre. Peter Andre went out with Casey Batchelor, who's a glamour model. Before Casey was famous, she was in a really popular girl band called Miss Millionaire. They are so popular, they have 845 likes on Facebook. I know. Also in a girl band was Linda Nolan, also a sex symbol. Linda was also known as Naughty Nolan for her sexy image in the pop group The Nolans. Naughty Linda. Linda holds the record for performing most summer seasons at Blackpool. Talking of pools, someone else that likes to cool off, especially at Tooting Vet Lido, is Ollie Locke. Ollie Locke, posh boy and former Made in Chelsea star. He even wrote a really naughty book called Laid in Chelsea. Someone else that likes to get laid is former apprentice Louisa Zussman. Louisa, who said she likes going to sex parties and doesn't mind admitting it, well, her last name ends in a Z. I tell you who else has got a Z in the name, actress Jasmine Walsh. Jasmine Walls appeared in the massive box office smash hit The Pledge, where she played a really gritty part of smoking girl number 3. Also in that film was Paris Hilton, who lives in glamorous Hollywood. I'll tell you what they've got in Hollywood. You know those paths where you put your hand and you can have your hand there forever? I'll tell you where else they've got those. Bath. And I'll tell you who's been honoured with one. Lionel Blair. Lionel Blair is like an all-round brilliant, amazing man. He was also a presenter. He presented a game show in the 80s. I'll tell you who else presented an amazing game show. Jim Davidson. Jim Davidson used to present Big Break and The Generation Game. Before he presented The Generation Game, Ruth Forsyth did it, but now he's doing BBC Strictly. American Strictly is called Dancing with the Stars. I'll tell you who's been on that one. Evelyn Holyfield.
Evander.
Oh, fuck. Evander Holyfield. When he's not waltzing around on that dance floor, he's a successful boxer. Now, I'll tell you who else likes to throw a few punches. He's that guy from N-Dubs, Dappy. Dappy, while playing in a charity football match, accidentally punched Lee Ryan. Lee Ryan was in that really good boy band called Blue, and they once performed at the Eurovision Song Contest. I'll tell you who else performed at the Eurovision Song Contest. Was that band Gemini. Lee Ryan's a Gemini, you know. I think that's an air sign. And air signs are really good with like earth signs. A really good earth sign is Virgo. Hey, I'll tell you who's a Virgo, that Marie Claire editor, Liz Jones. Liz Jones is a really opinionated woman who has a really strong interest in fashion. I'll tell you who else is really interested in fashion and owns a boutique. It's that girl from Towie, Sam Fayers. So, there you go. It seems like they all really do know each other. Here's hoping that they'll all cosmic bond and throw a big specialist party, a bit like the ones that Louisa likes to attend.
Celebrity Big Brothers Bit on the Side, where we can never be accused of playing up to the cameras.
Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. Chase your cares away.
See, they don't even know that the cameras are on them. They just do that randomly. Is the music still playing? What's going on? Right, so the audience apparently have had their say, but let's find out what the people closest to them think about our horny little housemates. Please give it up for Casey's best friend Jackie, Louisa's friend Daisy, and Lee. It's not Lee, it's Anthony, Lee's friend.
What's the name again? What's the name?
I was about to say, and Lee from Blue, but he's in the house and Anthony's
Wicked.
So Jackie, let's start with you. What do you think is going on with Casey and Lee?
I think they're a very cute couple. They're getting on very well.
Are they a
He
couple?
was a bit close last night.
Bit too close.
A bit too close, yeah, last night he was.
He all rise for
They're
the occasion.
What did it make you uncomfortable? Because it certainly
It made me
didn't
slightly
seem to make Casey uncomfortable.
It
She
made me
seemed to
slightly
snuggle in for a bit more.
She did, I think, yeah. She did enjoy it, I think.
I think she did as well. Anthony, Lee
Yeah.
has also expressed a like for Jasmine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Has he?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
Could Casey be in for a Blue time?
That's a good one, that is.
Well, you just did an all rise one.
I know. But if she came back in his life, she'll be there till the end of time. No, listen.
What do you think's going on? Come on,
I've known,
you've
as you
known
know,
him for years.
I've known Lee since 16, 17 years, so I know, he's just a lovable lad, and, he's obviously found an attraction to Casey and obviously to Jasmine, but I think he's bonded more with Casey because obviously they've been together for 36, 38 hours together.
And do you think it's something that he is seeing as a potential relationship, which is a lot of people are saying showmance as well, or is this just Lee being Lee and just wanting to cuddle everything that moves?
This is Lee being Lee, and he's just a cheeky chappy, and he just loves everyone. He loves, the only thing is now they've they've unhandcuffed each other. I like him to sort of, personally for me, is to just go around, mix with the other celebrities. It's not a bad thing, it's just, I wish you did that.
Daisy, Louisa is the one who kind of brought up the subject of, oh, look at what they're doing, total showmance.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I personally, I'm not sure still. The jury's out on that one.
Has she been a bit cynical?
I don't know. From Lee's behalf, I can see where Lou is coming from. I can. I'm not sure I 100% trust him and his motives.
Daisy!
Shoot me now. But I think Casey, I don't think she's, got a game plan or trying to make a showmance in any way. I think it's just, girls are girls and you want to think people like you.
Everyone's young and single.
Yeah.
Let them get on with things. Things
And I
happen,
think it's
great.
quite strange when guys from bands go in, like Lee, and like when you went in the jungle, and they have a big following because of their band. So it seems strange when
I
you
never
hear
won
people.
my one.
It doesn't matter. You still did well. You still did well.
Right, okay, yeah.
When people say, "Oh, they're doing it to stay
Right,
in," because if they have a fan base, then they will probably stay in anyway.
I think Lee and Casey and Louise are going to stay there probably, for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, but it just depends how it goes now. And I think that if Casey sort of comes on to Lee, or I'm not saying she will, or if Lee comes on to Casey again, I don't know what will happen. I mean, I think that the cameras are there, and I think some of them are quite forgetting that the cameras are there.
Well, Lee said he wouldn't kiss on telly.
I know, well, within 24
Very
hours,
quickly.
Yeah.
Is Lee her usual type?
She doesn't normally go for blondes. She normally likes darker boys.
It's not real though, is it? Is he really that blonde?
Wait, listen. Is Lee Casey's type? Or is
No,
Casey
why
Lee's
couldn't he breathe easy in the toilet?
I got cancelled.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I know he went in the toilet. It was rather quick. Yeah. All right.
It was really quick.
He done
That was
well.
Ridiculous.
If only he was just quick at getting to the airports and that. You know what I mean?
Oh, is he the pain in the band? Now, the moment Louisa found out that she thought she was facing the public vote, it could be fair to say as well that she kind of got it on with Jasmine.
Yeah.
Is this a coincidence?
I don't think it's got anything
is
to
this
do.
just her kind of having fun and playing a game in
That's
the back?
exactly what it is. Basically, Louisa went in there handcuffed to someone, in my opinion, who's very boring and dull and held her back, if you see what I mean. Like, she couldn't be herself.
That was
she
funny.
even said tonight in this episode that she felt like she couldn't be herself because she was chained.
Now they've uncuffed
So
each
now
other,
they've
yeah.
uncuffed her. The minx that is Louisa has come out. That's exactly
So
what she
has.
is. And she's just showing her true self. She wants to have fun, and that's exactly, it's got nothing to do with a game plan. That is exactly who Louisa is.
Do you know, I think she did really well with Evander, because even on Friday night, on that stage,
It was funny.
I was really trying to get as much out of him as I could.
He's
but
hilarious.
he's very quiet.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think she's
difficult
done
for Lou.
fantastically well being cuffed to him.
Yeah,
like
it's
she's
not-
really. I've enjoyed watching the two of them together.
Yeah, it has turned out to be very funny, but I think it's a difficult thing for someone with a personality like Louisa's who just wants to be wild all the time. It was probably a real challenge for her to be with someone who doesn't really come out of their shell that much.
So set her free, she'll jump on anyone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She gave the opportunity. She probably
They were
doesn't
well in
fancy
there,
any
weren't
of
they?
the men in there, and Jasmine's
well in
in
there,
those
weren't they?
beautiful, and she just went for it.
She certainly did.
Yeah.
So the bolt hole is happening on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see in there? Which couple?
I would like to see Dappy and Liz, just because I think it's the funniest pairing ever. I would
best
love
shout.
to see them
What would
alone.
Dappy do without his women?
He'd probably be poking the back of Liz when she's listening. I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing will stop him.
It'll be like that. Yo, Liz, come here, man. Let's have a go.
Who would you like to see in?
Obviously, Lee and Casey, I think
What
would be
would
nice
happen?
I don't know. They'll just chat.
Hold on, Anthony just went, they're just, and you went, no! He hasn't even said anything.
I've got to support my bandmate, haven't I? And I think that, it'd be nice to see Lee and Casey. Maybe if something happens, great. If it doesn't, then I'm sure there's gonna be a friendship there. There will be a friendship there, no doubt about it.
They do seem to get on very well.
Yeah,
They
and
seem
why
to be
not?
very similar.
Yeah, they are. They like having a laugh. And
Who would
things
you like to
that.
see in there?
Dappy and Liz, I think.
That would be funny, though. That would be funny. That would be
drive
funny.
each other crazy.
She seems to really, she seems to really like him as well, doesn't she? There's a very strange connection between, especially from her side of things, I think.
Yeah, she's like, at first she was a bit scary. Like on Friday night, when you were like, interviewing her and that, I was like, this woman's scary, man. Like,
She's a great character, is what you mean.
absolutely. Yeah, no,
Thank you very
she is. She
much.
is.
Put your hands together for Jackie, Daisy, and Lee from Blue. Okay, it's exclusive time. And it looks like the housemates have got an extraterrestrial shopping task.
In the early hours, an extraterrestrial spacecraft landed in the Big Brother garden. The British government has asked for Big Brother's help in dealing with this unexpected incident.
No problem.
Housemates, it would be your responsibility to make first contact with the alien beings.
Oh my God, do you think that they've hired a small... Oh my God, I'm in love.
Good morning.
We plan to use your celebrity bodies and brains for our experiments.
Nice.
If you complete all of our experiments to our satisfaction, we will reward you with a delivery of luxury Earth food. For this experiment, we have selected Liz and Lee.
Well, I didn't think you'd ever pick
Liz and Lee.
Break a leg. We already said bad luck.
There's a toilet.
I knew they were real! They're real! Yes! Okay, so tonight Big Brother has revealed the latest sting in his tail, and that is that one couple will be spending time in the Big Brother boat hole from Wednesday. The couples up are Evander and Louisa, Lee and Casey, and Dappy and Liz. So, Ryan, let's start with you. Who would you like to see go in? Which couple?
I'd like to see Dappy and... Dappy, down. Stop it. Thanks.
You've been planning that for ages.
I worked on that whole... Oh, it was great.
Too much panto.
Yeah, way too much. I think probably... Look, to be honest, I'd like to see Lionel and Ollie in there.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great...
But that
they're
can't
not
happen.
in.
No.
Big Brother can make anything happen.
We can't choose the rules
All
just
right,
to suit
okay.
you.
Dappy and Liz, because I think if Dappy was out of there, then people might start talking about him. And if Liz is out of there, people will definitely start talking about her. And of course you want people who are going to be talked about, really.
Yeah. Matt?
I agree. I absolutely agree. I wish I didn't agree, because it would make for better panelling. But I do agree with you. Yeah, I think. High five, brother. I just think it would be great. It would be just the dynamic of those two together again on their
Was
own.
that meant to be your
fantastic.
Australian accent?
Did I?
It was terrible. Alan, who do you think would be the best couple in
Look,
there?
I'm really tempted to say Dappy and Liz, but there's just maybe there's a twist in this. If Lee and Casey go off, well, that maybe some time alone wouldn't be a bad thing for me anyway. But if Lee and Casey went, I think a lot of the people in the house, a lot of the other celebrities would be thinking, what is going on? Because they're I think everyone expects that Dappy and Liz will go out. And when if Lee and Casey went, everyone in the house would be going, hang on.
Yeah.
What are the public thinking? How is this working? And of course, when they come back, if they come back, then I just think it'd be a really interesting sort of mind game.
Do you think maybe like if they went out, then they think then all the rest of the housemates would think, oh, maybe like too much sexual activity gets you voted out, and Dappy would just have to put it back in his pants.
Possibly.
That's physically impossible.
Ryan!
Or put it back in his sock.
Why are you always talking about Dappy's bits?
Well, he's talking about it all
You
the
just touched
time.
your nipples when you went to mention it again.
I'm
I'm
aroused.
moving on to the audience. I think I know what you're all going to say, but does anybody not think Dappy and Liz? Has anybody got another? You like Evander and Louisa?
Louisa's been on a hype the last few days, and it will be good to see her come back down because Evander kind of makes you keep it real, so she won't be able to depend on other people. So I think that'll be interesting.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think Evander and Louisa would be really funny in there because it's awkward TV as well, and she can't do her whole sexual thing as well, which will just calm her down.
She
a
has
bit.
to show another side of herself apart from the. That's a good point. Do you think, Ryan? Are you talking about Dappy again?
It shall be now known as Dongy.
What is going to happen if Evander and Louisa go in there? Is it going to be too much for Evander? Because he couldn't even quite believe that someone had put a handcuff on him. He was like, who would do that? It's like Big Brother would do that. That's what goes on here.
No, I don't think anything's too much for Evander. I think he's just kind of like, you know, oh, I just better get used to this and just soak it up. He's gone through way harder things than this. His training camps would be brutal. Yeah, mentally, Mentally, well, he's also a
No, he's
boxer.
here.
Oh, he's here. Oh, yeah, right, okay. So I was like, yeah, mentally, yeah. Okay, I'll go with you. I'll go with you on that one. I'm backing you up.
He needs it. Holyfield needs it. He needs that time with somebody like Louisa to open his mind. He said a few things that I disagree with recently, and I think he may need this journey, and I think he needs to be surrounded by people that will enlighten him to.
And I think if anyone can open your mind, it's probably Louisa, because she's very open-minded, so they say.
There you go.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Alan, if Casey and Lee go in there, will we see the end of the bathroom antics?
I think
will it all come to a head, so to speak?
Well, I think.
I haven't been on late night for a long time. Sorry.
If my theory is correct, and if Lee and Casey go off, I think that'll quieten everybody down. You won't need the bathroom breaks. I think everyone will just quieten down and get very sensible for a little bit. Oh no! See, I have to say, there's so many people in the house that I'd like to really see a lot more of, and I love the Ollie and Lionel relationship. I think that's really interesting. I'd like to see a lot of that, because I think that dynamic is great, and I like them both very much. And
there were lots of rumours about you going in the house.
There was a fair few.
Are you gutted you're not in there, seeing as this is what's happening on day 3?
Just there.
I'm not going to say I'm gutted, because my wife will see this, and I think it's important she understands I don't approve.
But your bags are packed for August. Yes. So you've heard what the panel and the audience think, but of course the only opinion that really counts is yours. Here are those all-important numbers. This week, Casey and Lee, Dappy and Liz, and Evander and Louisa all face eviction live on Wednesday night. However, no one will be evicted. Instead, one couple will leave in a fake eviction and secretly live in Big Brother's Bolt Hole. They will re-enter the main house live on Friday to drop a bombshell. For Casey and Lee to enter the Bolt Hole from a landline, call 090 20 44 24 13 or from a mobile 6 44 24 13. For Dappy and Liz, from a landline, call 090 20 44 24 14 or from a mobile 6 44 24 14. Or for Evander and Louisa, from a landline, call 090 20 44 24 15 or from a mobile 6 44 24 15. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 50p. Other landlines may vary. Voting closes in Wednesday's show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. For full terms, go to channel5.com/BBVote. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Finger banging, motorboating, deep throats, spooning.
That's just lunch with me and you, Emma.
Forking, and people with the knives out already.
Knives. Yeah.
It's hardly any news, is there? Nothing. At 2:34 this afternoon, Lionel regaled the housemates with a royal tale.
I had to go to America. There was the Queen Mother's 80th birthday party, and they were doing the Royal Command to commemorate her 80th year. It was when Larry Hagman forgot his words. You know, it's that one. Anyway, so Danny Kaye comes over, and I get him.
I was on
now,
that
when
show.
He,
I did that show.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
When he came to England, he was the biggest success ever. So when he came to do this command performance, he went to me. I said, what? He said, I tell you what I want you to do. I want you to get the Queen Mother mic'd up so that when I go into Ball in the Jack, she can join in with me. Can you imagine getting the Queen Mother mic'd up? I said, I don't think that will happen. He said, she'll do it for me.
Of course she would.
Did she do it? No.
What year was this?
Princess Diana.
Then I want everybody to sing happy birthday. I said, no, her birthday was in August. This is just a tribute thing to her.
It's
What
brilliant.
fond memories he has of that royal
He really does, yeah. Shame we didn't know that Jim was there, huh?
I know,
It really
I
was.
know.
I wonder if any of the celebs were there, Emma.
Wow, funnily enough, just a moment later at 2:35.
He's still rattling on.
Guess what? Story continues.
And it was the Queen Mother's birthday. It was, Sammy came over and did it. Aretha Franklin came over and did it. The MD was Henry Mancini, came over and did it. Mary Martin. What?
And I did it.
Were you on it?
I believe I was.
When Larry Hagman forgot his words.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember that vividly.
Did you know he was a great Chinese chef, Danny Kaye? One of the best in the world. Mm. I said to him, I hear you're one of the best Chinese chefs in the world. He said, one of the best.
Ken Hom, I like him. He says, right, let's do some cooking. I'm very hungry.
Yeah, he's lovely. I don't know him.
I knew there had to be more big showbiz names
I
there.
just cannot believe you didn't remember Jim, though.
Was Jim there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And finally, at 2:51 this afternoon, Lionel wasn't done tooting his horn.
Door's opened. Who's that? It's the aliens.
I love you.
What is that?
Donuts.
Lionel, we are impressed with your intelligence levels.
Yay!
Here is your reward.
Thank you.
That already one of my favourite TV moments of 2014. Brilliant stuff. Happy days. Thank you, Big Brother.
Yeah, that was the news. Come on.
All right.
Let's go in here.
Where are you taking
Matt
me, young
Johnson.
lady?
Oh. This is the sweaty box.
Oh, I love a sweaty box.
Oh, it's the BBI. Oh,
It's BBI.
gone up in the world. Oh, I'm stuck.
You
Right.
okay?
That's all the latest from the house. Ryan and Alan are in the reality gallery. What's happening up there now, boys?
There has been a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
During their part of the task, Louisa and Jasmine decided to take matters, or Martians, into their own hands. They picked up the mini Martian, to which he replied, "Put me down. How rude. You will pay for this."
Terrifying. Linda's
Yeah.
been to the diary room to complain about Jim. She says she's getting tired of Jim. She says, just when I'm thinking all right with him, he becomes offish again. I think he's a real man's man. He's better in the company of men. So it looks like the house mum and dad might be heading for a
Having a
divorce.
bit of a tip.
Well, maybe the problem is because Jim is in a mood because he is starving. Dappy has done his best to cheer Jim up by telling him the story of when he got kicked in the face by a horse. That'd cheer me up. They have been cuddling up to each other on the sofa. Could this be a new bromance?
Well, who knows? We'll have to hold it there and find out later. Thanks, boys.
Thank you. I love how enthusiastic they are.
Aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, yeah.
Let's see if you can be as good.
Well, you've just caught me playing a game of Lionel Blair name drop bingo. You see we've already got a few ones ticked off there. I'm hoping Sooty comes up later,
Oh,
because
yeah.
that'll give me a good chance of getting a diagonal. And I've heard there's some filthy stories about Sooty coming up. But if you want to play Lionel Blair name drop bingo at home, you can download the card from our Twitter page, @BBBots.
You
Hasn't he already mentioned Joan Collins?
Yeah, but I've only just started playing, you see.
Oh,
That's
right,
the problem.
okay.
If you were
June
playing from the
Whitfield, can't
start-
wait for that one.
Yeah, that'll be good. Swampy. Always
Who
good
do
to hear
you
his
always
name.
name drop?
You. I do at parties. I know that Emma Willis. She's lovely, yeah. Yeah, she's a friend.
And what about tweets?
I've got some tweets. We've been asking people online if there's any potential romances in the house. Obviously, we were discussing that earlier. And yes, there is some potential romances. Everyone's saying Lee and Casey. Stuart Chris said the duvets will soon be scorched from all the love.
Ooh, Stuart.
Which is
They
disgusting.
don't want to see that.
But there's some other potential...
You don't want to see it.
No.
The
We've got-
nation wants to see it.
We've got some other potential pairings. Maybe you might want to see these. Christina Auk suggests Jasmine and the Bush Bear are going to get it on.
Or the Bear Bush.
The Bear Bush.
Oh.
You never know.
Depends which
She's
way you
already
wanna
seen
say
a little
it.
bit of that with Dappy, but Loving Sally says Lionel and Jim was a potential couple.
Probably
We'll
not
leave it
going to
there.
happen. Thank you very much.
Okay. Could happen.
Matt Johnson, thank you so
Mwah.
much.
Thank you, love.
We're out of time. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be joined by Matt Richardson, Abs Love, and Katie Hopkins. Everyone hold on to your
Katie
knickers and
Hopkins, good
hats.
luck.